Ever heard of auditory drugs? No, they're not what you think. Let's dive into the less explored aspects of these sound-based stimulants. Known to some as binaural beats or digital drugs, they've recently seen a surge in popularity. These fascinating audio concoctions use frequencies to create a sense of altered consciousness, especially enchanting the younger crowds. But there's more to these auditory drugs than meets the ear. Stick around to learn what everyone else isn't telling you. First off, let's talk science. How do these auditory drugs work exactly? Well, it's all about binaural beats. These are a type of sound wave that your brain creates when it is presented with two different frequencies at the same time. The brain processes this by creating a third tone, the binaural beat, which is the difference between the two frequencies. This beat can then influence your brainwave activity and potentially induce various states of consciousness. It's like a shortcut to meditation, focus, or even euphoria. Some auditory drugs even claim to simulate the effects of physical substances, from caffeine to cannabis. But remember, this isn't magic, it's science. Your brain is essentially tricking itself into feeling certain effects based on the frequencies it's processing. So it's all in the mind, but does that mean it's all safe and sound? Not quite. Now let's discuss the potential dangers and downsides of auditory drugs. Just like any other substance that alters our perception, auditory drugs carry their own set of risks. Firstly, they can lead to dependency. While they might not contain physical substances like traditional drugs, the emotional reliance on these digital highs can be just as potent. Secondly, prolonged exposure to certain frequencies can cause auditory damage. Our ears are delicate instruments, and overloading them with powerful sound waves can have lasting consequences. Finally, auditory drugs can exacerbate pre-existing mental health conditions. They manipulate our brain waves, and while this can lead to positive experiences for some, for others it can trigger anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues. So while auditory drugs offer a unique and intriguing experience, it's crucial to approach them with caution. Remember, just because it's digital doesn't mean it's harmless. So how does one navigate the world of auditory drugs responsibly? Here are some tips. Firstly, always consult a healthcare professional before embarking on any new sensory experiences. They can provide valuable insights and precautions tailored to your health history. Secondly, ensure you're using reputable sources. The internet is a vast place, and not all auditory drugs are created equal. Some may even pose severe risks. Thirdly, be aware of your mental state. If you're feeling anxious or unstable, it might not be the best time to experiment with auditory drugs. Fourthly, remember to take breaks. Just like with any sensory stimuli, continuous exposure might lead to exhaustion or desensitization. Lastly, always prioritize your well-being over curiosity. Auditory drugs can be fascinating, but they should never compromise your health or safety. Remember, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So that's the lowdown on auditory drugs. We've explored their intriguing world, delved into the science behind the sound, and shed light on the dark side of digital highs. We've also touched on the importance of using auditory drugs responsibly. Remember, it's all about balance and understanding. The sound trip can be a unique experience, but knowing the facts and using responsibly is key. Stay curious, stay informed, and always listen responsibly. Thanks for tuning in.